Hello, everybody. vanburman here. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I want to talk about DDR4. I know DDR5 is the new hot list, but bear with me for a second. um, there's so I've been, as you probably know, experimenting quite a bit with different RAMs, and I bought some stuff for the test bench, and I bought some more stuff recently for some other videos and stuff. But effectively, I've had really good results with the crucial Ballistix memory. I'm not affiliated in any way, by the way, with them. Just thought I would make the video to make the point. So I currently have had now 2 sets of the crucial Ballistix DDR4 3000 megahertz CL15 memory. I had it in the 32 gigabyte kit and now the 16 gigabyte kit. I'm not actually keeping this memory that I've got in my hand right now because I am going to be trying some different memory for a very specific purpose. So I don't actually have any use for this. So just to make you aware. Now, the kit that I've got in front of me is the 16 gigabyte kit, which is two 8 gig sticks, obviously DDR4 3000 megahertz CL15. Well, it's 15. It's 15, 16, 16, 35, obviously with XMP on. Now, I think that's, I could be wrong, but I think that is the same as my the one in my test bench, which is 32, which is effectively the same modules, but they're 16 gigabytes per DIMM rather than 8, and it's also dual rank rather than single rank. So that's unfortunately one of the bad parts, but yeah, that's what you get with lower capacity. I have heard now as well, by the way, or seen reviews of, so take it with a pinch of salt, that the 16 gigabyte RAM kits may now not be dual rank either. So worth bearing in mind before you think about getting that just because it's dual rank. So yeah, you do take a chance. I'm not sure what chips are in the 8 gigabyte modules, but I know in the 16 gigabyte modules it's the Micron E chips, which are meant to be sort of akin to Samsung's B die. So just like high yield, like top of the silicon lottery, if you like, range. So with that, bearing all that in mind, and note that things can change and companies do change their products like very frequently. So this is only good as a reference. But effectively, I was able to overclock this particular set of RAM. It is 2 sticks, by the way, in case you're concerned. And I'll probably actually try and show you the, I don't know if it'll be the serial number, but the model number. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Ooh, come on. Pick it up. Pick it up. Well, I can put a link to it anyway in the description, but it's very often on sale. It was on sale very recently for just over £50, or at least like £55. Now I know that obviously you can, you might say, well, I can get a 3200 megahertz kit for, from a different brand for that same price. Obviously, probably CL16 and probably 16, 18, 18, 30, 38, I think, or 36. I can't remember. Whatever the timings will be. Specifically, by the way, Corsair's RAM have horrendous timings. And I don't even think they look that nice. I don't know why I'm like anti-Corsair. The only Corsair ones I particularly like is the LPX ones. I think they're called. Is it LPX? The thin, the small heatsink ones. They for me look really nice. If you've got like 4 slots and you want it to be quite understated, I think they're really nice. I digress though. So yeah, 5 minutes in, I haven't even spoke about what I've done yet. So I overclock this to 3600 megahertz. Timings, I can't remember. No, I can, but I can't remember whether the score that I'm going to talk to you about was with the 18 or the 17. So 3600, obviously XMP on, and then so you get the 1.35 volts, so you could do that manually, and then primary timings of 16. I'm going to say 18, 18, 18, 36, 18, 18, 36. And yeah, 3600 megahertz runs completely stable. It's the same on my other one as well. I also ran it with 17, 17, 17, 17, 36 as well. So 16, 17, 17, 36. So CL16 on both, but obviously then the whatever the other timings are called, 17 or 18. So you should be somewhere. You should be able to get one of those two, and it run quite stable. Now, one of the things that has been really interesting to me is, in particular, now I'm going to do a separate video on this, so you have to bear with me for on that one. But I bought a very cheap motherboard recently, so these are brand new at the minute for around £25. Now they are selling them off, it seems. So it's the Gigabyte A320M S2H. So these are an ATX, obviously 300 series motherboards, and the one I got was the Revision 2. So they've got a Revision 1, Revision 2, and Revision 3. You want to try and get a Revision 2 or a Revision 3. It's not always very obvious. The Revision 2 and 3 come with 3000 support right out the gate. The one is you may get 3000 series off the gate. So just bear that in mind if you do decide to get one. So these are currently around £26-27 for an M-ATX PCIe. It's all Gen 3 and stuff. But what it can do is it can run the 5000 series as well. Now, I don't want to go into a review about this board per se. There are, pluses and cons and negatives. Lots of cons and negatives, obviously, because it is a very cheap board. And for the price, though, it's brilliant as a backup, which is what I bought it for. And all I'm trying to say is that I was able to get those speeds on something like this, so something that isn't a great chipset, which means that the chances are that these RAM sticks are actually really good. As opposed to it being, oh well, you've got a good CPU, you've got a good memory controller on your CPU, the chipset on your motherboard, enables that kind of performance. Now, that board itself only has two RAM slots, and I can't remember what the official OC on the board is, like 3200 or something. I know that's like pretty standard. But the fact of the matter is, I can get those really good results, and I know I quite like user benchmarks, some people don't, and I understand why. But with this particular set of RAM, I got 125% on user benchmark. That's not a joke. That's not hyperbole. That is literally, looking at the other results, that's higher than the CL14 G Skill kit, the Ripjaws and the Trident Z ones that obviously a lot of YouTubers use. Like that's an average of 112, and this got 125 being overclocked. So all I would say is, take it with a pinch of salt about this. I'm actually tempted to keep this kit because it did so well. I've ordered some, just I guess for future reference, and I'll have a look at messing around with that when I get it. But I've got some 4400 megahertz stuff on the way. So like trying to bridge the gap between DDR4 and DDR5, but I want to see how that performs. I'm quite interested to see what I can get out of that, but I won't beat 125 on that RAM. I can't see how I will. So if you are after some RAM, DDR4 specifically, and I don't know, maybe you want to build a new computer, or maybe you want some stuff that's just a bit more modern, a bit more flexible, I can really recommend the 3000 CL15 if you're willing to have a bit of a play around. Do let me know if you want to know my full timings. I'm happy to give them. Like I said, I don't know what the secondary timings are. Maybe they're horrendous, but I do know that user benchmark is giving me a really good score. I haven't thoroughly tested these. I think that's probably the big thing. It's not gone through a mem test. I have played games and I have ran memory intensive applications, but I have not officially, validated it as well as I can officially validate. However, with the other set of RAM, I have done. I have run it. I have validated that running 3600 megahertz. So it leads me to believe, or from my sample size of 2, or 1.5, if you like, that this Crucial Ballistix RAM, the CL15 3000 megahertz, is the absolute best budget all round RAM. As long as you don't want anything flashy, you don't want any RGB, all that sort of stuff. If you're happy just to have plain looking kits. They're quite small as well. The heat spreader doesn't come out too much, so you got very little chance of interfering with any sort of air cooler or anything. I really like them. I think they're brilliant. I really do. I've not had a chance to actually use the RGB ones, but I imagine they're probably slightly bigger. Maybe, I don't know. You can print your own little strips for them as well. So it doesn't say Ballistix on there, so you could have like vanburman or Well, I would have vanburman, I guess. You guys wouldn't, but you know what I mean. So yeah, just worth bearing in mind. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos to do with RAM coming up because it's not something I've ever had chance to really play around with. I've just bought the kit that I'm going to use and done what I can with it. The Viper Patriot RAM that I had that was 32 or 3000, that was 3200. That was fine. You know, I wasn't able to get 3600 working on that one without going up to CL18, so I decided to stick for the majority of it. Decided to stick with the 3200 at CL16 instead. Have lower latency, lower speed, which generally seems to be like a good sweet spot. So I will get the chance to do lots of other sort of testing with the new RAM, with the 4400 RAM. I'm going to try and sort of bring that down, make that 32, yeah, 32, and see if I can get CL14 out of it. So 3200 megahertz CL14, and then see how that compares to some of the other stuff, because that is quite cheap really for what it is as well. So we're actually looking like we're coming through quite a good time for especially if you want to, you know, if you're after buying RAM and that sort of thing. What I'll do is I'll put a link to the description with my user benchmark run in it if you want to see. There's nothing fancy in there. I've got a Ryzen 7 2700. I had some issues with the test bench, I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, hence why I bought a new motherboard and stuff. So that's a separate video time though, and I've got a 460 in there because yeah, yeah, why not? And then just an SSD and a pen drive that I forgot to take out. So yeah, have a look at that and do see what you think if you want to dig into a bit more. Unfortunately, it doesn't like really give you a huge sort of overview over the RAM. It just sort of tells you what speed it was running at, and what score it got as well. So yes, hope I've not bored you too much, but I did really want to make this video, and because I sort of did it all off camera, this is more of a summary, I guess. I don't know how interesting a RAM video would be, especially if, you know, I would really prefer to validate everything really well before I sort of bring it to you, but I feel like because of my other kit, because I've used two of the same sets of RAM, that I can be pretty confident that it's really good. I mean, it would not, I don't know how you would check, I can't remember how you would check, but I would be surprised if this is not Micron E memory on these sets, and these aren't the max RAM, these are just the normal ones. So yeah. Obviously, other stuff, by the way, caveats. The motherboard only has 2 RAM slots, which may help this score as well. Decrease in lanes, therefore less latency as far as I'm aware. And I forgot what the other thing was. But yes, so take everything with a pinch of salt. This is my experience only, and use it as such. But any questions, queries, comments, leave them in the description below. Do check out in the description if you want to see the user benchmark results. And yes, we will see how it goes. Right, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.